Okay, I am back, and it is kind of late, and yeah, it's early. I haven't gone to sleep yet. I've actually been awake all night. But anyway, here is my appointment book, and I've written down some tasks and activities that I need to do here since this is kind of back in a month that I'm not using anyway. No, I gotta get this updated because now today's the 29th. Yeah, oh, that's Friday. It's already Friday, huh? So, okay, here's my bookmark here. So this calendar sticker looks useful. I'll figure out a use for something. But the thing is, my appointment book. So I received this appointment book on the 26th. That's like 3 days ago. I still need to make use of it apparently, but it doesn't really help that I'm awake during hours where these time slots, where this book doesn't have time slots for when I'm awake, and it's kind of not really productive that I'm sleeping throughout the time slots that this book does have. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do in order to, I suppose, fix my sleep pattern schedule or whatever. Okay, the next thing is, okay, I found more clothes. Apparently I had a bunch more clothes. So, oop, bumped into my chair there. So apparently, those boxes, actually this is another box, that other box here, if we can see it. Oh, it's getting dark here now. And I gotta get a brighter light for this room. Okay, anyway, yeah, that box had more clothes. That box out there that you saw, it was actually the boxes that were here, those two boxes. So, more clothes. I started to put more clothes away over here. I decided I'm gonna have maybe one side have the business attire clothing, and then the other side be the casual clothing. So I'll probably keep the casual stuff over here. Man, it's hard to see at night. At least through the camera anyway. It's difficult for the camera to pick up. Anyway, cameras can't see very well at night unless you have like infrared, I suppose. Which, actually, my security cameras do. Let's turn off the lights so you can see it for yourself. See? So, yep, it's useful. Right now I don't have it set to auto record, but when I leave, whenever I leave, I usually turn it on so that anything that happens while I'm gone, I can take a look at. It'll alert me. And then there's other people that I gotta get security systems for, find out, and then just let them know how much it'll cost so that they can, because they need it for like their purposes. So I can't support it right now, but apparently something that's needed. Oh, and then I also wanted to talk about what is known as Geo-Engineering, also known as Chemtrails. There's the claim by a lot of the promoters of the so-called geoengineering. Oh, well, it's to control the weather, it's to stop global warming, it's for this reason or that reason, it's to protect you from the harmful rays of the UV sun, shield from solar flares and whatever. But the reality is, I've actually been thinking about the science behind it, and the reality is that all this spraying of those chemicals in the air, a lot of it contains barium, strontium, and aluminum. This has actually been proven. None of you get to call me a so-called tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theorist, because tinfoil has not been used since the 1930s. It became aluminum. So there's no more tinfoil, there's now aluminum foil. Ha! Got you there. Alright. So anyway, the reason I'm talking about it is because after getting back from the trip, I remember some of these days have been some of the hottest days. It wasn't even summer yet. Why was it so hot? And it dawned on me, well, that's because the atmosphere has gotten so thick lately. Why is the atmosphere so thick? Obviously because you got all these particulates that are, being released into the atmosphere from all of these planes that are, spraying and dumping all of the chemicals and causing the atmosphere to become thicker. Now, why is that significant and important? That is significant and important because when you thicken the atmosphere, you actually make it so that the radiation levels increase. In other words, it acts like a greenhouse effect. Consider this, okay? If you are down by, sea level, like you're closer to the ground, okay? You're more at like towards ground level, you know, um, it can be hot. But if you go up, 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 way up into the mountains, and you go further up, a lot of these mountains you'll see in some of these pictures of mountains, they got snow caps. There's snow at the top of it, meaning that the further you are up, even though you are closer to the sun, you are actually colder there. And there's even snow. Why is that so? That is so because the atmosphere is not as thick over there. Now all these particulates falling down, and they're going to settle. They're obviously heavier than air, so it's going to actually, be around, where we are, and then we have to breathe that stuff in. And I actually, suspected it a long time ago, about around a decade ago, because I got pretty sick with no, rational, reasonable explanation. Of course, I was outside a lot at the time, and uh, you know, there wasn't really anything that I was doing that was unhealthy that I could think of, other than just, being outside, maybe sometimes sleeping outside in the forest or whatever. And, what could have gotten me sick other than, you know, the chemicals that were in the environment. That's the only thing that I could have thought of. So I did some research on it. Anyway, enough of that. We're gonna go to my food. So I actually was cooking food, and this is actually pretty tasty. I actually had some chicken. I already ate it all up earlier, but when you cook chicken, it's going to result in chicken broth, and you don't want to throw your chicken broth away. Now, usually I don't eat rice, but I had to do something with the broth because the chicken wasn't exactly to my liking and tasting. I was just, eating it with fruits, and I decided to just put it into the rice, and then yeah, well, the way that I cook it anyway, it turns out tasty. And there's, there's other people who say that, well, even my mother, she says that, despite the years and years and decades of cooking experience that she has, that I'm better at cooking, certain, these recipes, these kinds of things. So she asks me to cook it, every now and then because she wants to eat it. Obviously, I washed all of the dishes in my kitchen. Well, I had to do it because then I had to, make some food here. It's still not perfect yet. I'll get it there eventually, but I'm still working on a bunch of stuff, as you can see. Getting my moving things around, trying to get things done. Not really getting as much done as I want to because I'm just, periodically getting tired out of nowhere for whatever reason. Now, what else did I want to go over? Yeah. Well, everything that I am able to go over, that we can go over, that I wrote down that I was going to go over, we've already gone over today. So for now, we're just going to end here, and we'll see you next time. All right. Have a nice day. Bye, guys.